March 24th, 2012. This is Nancy Feasel interviewing my mom, Joyce Craft, at my place. Mom, what is you think the definition of success is?
Well, raising a family, having a good job, having a good car, getting my kids through school, and I had a dairy farm of my own. I worked and saved money for the things my kids needs, and that's about all I can say.
Okay, what is your background? Where'd you come from, or how was you raised?
Well, I come from a poor family. My family worked on different kind of jobs. They worked on farms. Some worked as school teachers. Some worked making moonshine back in them days when you didn't have money, no jobs and stuff was scarce. So my uncle worked at a furniture factory, and my grandmother worked at in a cigar factory. Rolling up cigars.
Wow. Who or what inspired you?
Well, my aunt and uncle and my grandmother and them all were working hard, always taking care of us when we didn't have nothing to eat, seeing them work in the farms and everything. I wanted to do better for myself and my family.
How did your upbringing play a role in your success?
Well, I didn't really want to be like my grandmother and them and my mom and them working farms, working the fields, hoeing corn and everything. And my mother, when I was growing up, she took and worked getting people's laundry in her house, $1 a bushel ironing and stuff like that. I wanted to be able to make it better for my children and my own self.
Growing up, do you see yourself as a successful person now?
Well, I guess I've raised my family. I've done about everything I really want to do. I've raised them. I've worked a lot of places, from dairy farms, cooking, custodians, many, many different jobs. One I like the best, though, I guess, is working in the STNA and a cook. Those two things I like best. I guess I just wanted to do for my family, make sure they was raised up, be able to take care of themselves, raise their own families. I want to be self-supporting so that they could live better than what I did when I was a kid.
Well, what kind of struggles or obstacles have you had to overcome?
Oh, when I was working in the public, when I started out working to raise my kids and stuff, I only started making 50 cents an hour. And then I got up, the men was making $1.50. I thought I was really doing good when I started working at Cannon Park, making $1.92 an hour. I thought that was big. And it was a lot of money to me when you could take $21 a week and raise your family on. Can't do it now.
No, you can't. Well, what lessons has your work life taught you?
Oh, taught me that I can do my own by being able to accomplish anything I wanted to. Worked hard at it, accomplished making a dairy for my own self. Worked all the way through, cleaning 16 houses a week just to feed the calves and stuff to start my dairy, and I worked hard at it, got it through, but I guess that's about it.
How has your life been different than what you imagined?
Well, I don't know. I guess I wanted a lot out of life. I wanted a good marriage, which didn't happen. I wanted to own a new home, big old brick home. That didn't happen. It just seemed like, I don't know. It just seems like you have dreams of having your kids, having a lot of nice things, but they didn't have. I made it with them, but it wasn't. They had to work and help me make a living. When I worked on a dairy farm, they had to help me get up at 5 o'clock in the morning before they went to school. They had to help me pull calves and stuff before my boss would come. They'd help me feed the calves, and then when the hay come in the evenings after school, the kids worked hard, helped put hay in the barn. Other kids didn't have to do that. So I guess I feel lucky though in a way.
How's that?
Well, they all can take care of themselves. All of them's got good jobs. They've all went back through school, learning different job traits that they can keep their family happy, and their wives and things.
What regrets do you have, and what would you do differently?
I don't know. I can't say I really had any regrets, not truthfully. I always felt whatever God dishes out, you take it and you go with it. You just, I don't know, I just don't really think like a lot of people, I reckon.
Well, that's a good thing. In our class, one issue we discovered about the 10,000 hour rule, which is the idea that one has to put in 10,000 hours of work, practice, or study to become truly successful at something. To what degree does a 10,000 hour rule apply to you, or your definition of the success?
Well, I don't quite understand things like that. I don't understand. I guess my success is different. I just feel good about myself. I don't know anything about the 10,000 hours. I never thought about it deeply like that.
Okay. Well, my instructor has asked us to include 2 questions on this interview. The first one is, has reading played a significant role in your life? And if so, what kind of things do you enjoy reading?
I guess I never had time for reading. I was always busy working, cleaning the house, and working out in public. And when I get home, take care of the kids and stuff. And after they left, it's still the same thing. I had to work 2 jobs at a time, always, since time got harder and harder. It just took more time in doing that. And when I get home, I'm always so tired that I just don't.
I don't
read.
It's hard to read, except for the Bible.
Not the Bible's the only thing I really like reading. Every now and then Nancy will give me a story out of the book to read, but not on my own.
The second question is, she wants us to address is, from the beginning of time, storytelling has been used to transmit history and culture. For entertainment, to teaching lessons, storytelling is used in all walks of life. What kind of role has storytelling played in your personal or your work life, if at all? What is your view on storytelling?
Well, I don't know. I used to tell the kids about when I was a kid, I was always in trouble. Out in the fields, I'd go to the pig pen, and my grandmother, I'd end up getting the little pigs when she'd be milking a cow. I'd get a hold of the little pigs because I was fascinated. They was my friends when I was little. About everything that you eat and raised, I was a friend to it. So I tried to get a lot of times the old mommy hogs that chased me out of the hog pen with trying to get a little one out. And many times I got a lot of spankings from my grandmother. She'd take and whoop me because I love baby chickens, and I'd go get them little chickens. I'd find out where the old hen hid her nest out at outside underneath the bushes and trees, and I'd get them rascals, and I'd head for the house, and old hen got after me, and no more get inside the door. That old hen would flop against the screen, about tear the screen out. Oh, how many times I got whipping for that? I don't know, it just seemed like, and then when I was staying with my Aunt Doris, and then we was out, their bathrooms back years ago was out in the pasture fields. They wasn't in the yard like people had later on in years. Every time we went to go to the outside toilet, the old white bull, big old white-faced bull got after me. It'd chase my cousins too. It'd chase me to the toilet, and we'd be screaming in the hall, and he'd be butting the door, not letting us out. We'd have to scream and scream until somebody'd come throw rocks at him so we could get back to the house. So I guess a lot of storytelling we enjoyed a lot.
What words of wisdom or advice could you offer on how to create a successful life?
Well, just work hard, love a lot, love the family, love your friends. That's the most important thing, I think, that goes along, is sharing your life with them. If somebody's sick, help them. If somebody's hungry, feed them. We've always done that. The kids, anybody's got clothes, whether they're young or old, we always gathered up clothes and took to them. Anybody wanted to go to the doctor, we always took them to the doctor. I guess that was the way we lived. I mean, that's the way we felt. We loved to do things for people. It made us feel good in return.
How would you like to be remembered?
Well, I'd like to be remembered as being kind, caring about people. Like to be remembered as a good Christian, not somebody just walk around and when somebody has a need or anything, be able to that you care enough. I like to be remembered as somebody as being a caring person about and loving my kids, them to know I love them.
Is there anything I haven't asked that you would like to share?
I can't think of anything. I think you saying about everything we need.
Well, I appreciate the interview and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.